My beloved child, pause for a moment and listen carefully, because something unusual is happening right now. The fact that your eyes stopped here, the fact that your attention did not scroll past this message, is not a coincidence, hidden inside a random moment of your day. Something within your spirit recognized that these words carry a weight meant specifically for you. I am not forcing you, and I am not commanding you. Yet, there is a gentle urgency surrounding this moment. As if heaven itself is quietly whispering, open your heart and pay attention now. There are times when I speak through storms, and there are times when I speak through silence. But today I am speaking through a moment that you almost overlooked. And if your heart feels even the smallest stirring right now, type Amen in the comments as a sign that your spirit is listening. My beloved, I know the thoughts that have been passing through your mind lately. I have seen the quiet questions you never spoke out loud, the moments when you wondered whether the delays in your life meant that something had gone wrong. But what you could not see was that certain doors remained closed not as rejection, but as preparation. Timing that seemed confusing to you was never confusion to me. The pieces have been aligning quietly, behind scenes you could not observe, in conversations you never heard, and in decisions made by people who do not even realize they are part of your story. Stay present with these words, because what is unfolding around you is far more intentional than it first appeared. If your heart senses that something is shifting in your life, write 1 and 11 in the comments as a declaration that you trust divine timing. There are moments in a person's life when clarity arrives suddenly, like light entering a dark room that has been closed for years. And right now, my child, you are approaching one of those moments. Certain truths are beginning to surface. Hidden intentions are slowly revealing themselves. Situations that once felt confusing are starting to make sense in ways you could not imagine before. You may have thought that you were waiting, but in reality you were being positioned. You may have believed that doors were closed forever, yet some of those very doors were simply waiting for the exact second when opening them would no longer harm you, but elevate you. Listen closely, because the next part of your journey is not about force, it is about recognition. Comment yes if your spirit feels that something important is beginning to reveal itself. My child, I want you to understand something very clearly. I do not command your heart the way the world commands people through fear or pressure. I guide, I whisper, and I invite. And right now I am inviting you to open what you once avoided opening. Not a physical object, but a realization, a truth, a path that has been quietly waiting for your courage. You sensed it before but hesitated because you wondered if you were ready. Yet readiness rarely feels comfortable. The door that stands before you now carries both mystery and blessing. And what lies beyond it is something that your past self would not have been prepared to handle. If you believe that you are stepping into a season of understanding, type 777 in the comments as a declaration of faith. My beloved, there have been moments when you doubted whether your patience mattered. You watched others move forward while your path seemed paused. But what you did not know was that your waiting protected you from outcomes that would have wounded your spirit. The delay you experienced carried purpose. While you believed time was passing you by, your strength was quietly being formed. And now, as truth begins to surface and clarity approaches, you are standing at the edge of something that once seemed impossible. Stay with this message, because the next realization is one your heart has been searching for longer than you realize. Dear family, Before we continue, I want to share something important. Recently, our channel was demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive earnings from these videos. Yet every message here takes many hours of prayer writing, recording, and editing. Our mission is to bring hope and encouragement to those who feel lost, lonely, or overwhelmed. Without support, it becomes very difficult for us to keep creating these messages and continue running this channel. If these messages have ever helped or inspired you, you can support this mission through the links in the description or the pinned comment. Buy me a coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue creating these messages and reaching people who need them the most. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you. Now, my child, let us continue, because the message did not end there. In fact, what follows may be the very reason you were drawn here in the first place. You see, there is a moment approaching when the confusion that surrounded you will begin to dissolve. It will not arrive with loud announcements or dramatic signs that everyone can see. Instead, it will come quietly, like dawn appearing before the world fully wakes. You will begin noticing small confirmations, subtle alignments, and unexpected clarity in places that once felt uncertain. These moments are not random. They are signals that the path ahead is opening step by step. My beloved, there are truths that must be revealed at the right time, because revealing them too early would cause doubt instead of understanding. That is why certain answers have remained hidden until now. But the season of silence around those answers is beginning to change. You will start recognizing patterns that once escaped your awareness. A people who carried unclear intentions will become easier to understand. Situations that once felt confusing will suddenly make sense. And when that clarity arrives, you will realize that what once seemed like chaos was actually careful preparation. If your spirit feels ready to receive this clarity, declare "I receive" in the comments. My child, you may have wondered why certain relationships shifted, why certain plans dissolved, and why certain opportunities disappeared just when they seemed close. But there are moments when removal is protection disguised as disappointment. What left your life was not always meant to stay. What seemed like loss was often space being created for something better aligned with your future. And soon you will see the wisdom in those changes. The pieces that once felt broken will begin forming a new picture, one that carries deeper peace than the path you originally expected. Stay present with these words, my beloved, because something within you is awakening to truth. This awakening is gentle but powerful. It is the quiet realization that your life has not been drifting aimlessly through chance. There has been guidance surrounding you even in the seasons when you felt alone. And now that guidance is becoming easier to recognize. The door you once hesitated to open is no longer something to fear. It is something to explore with courage and faith. There is also something else you must understand. Not every message reaches every person, and not every moment carries the same weight for every soul. But the reason this message found you today is because your spirit was ready to hear it. Something within you was prepared to recognize that the next step of your journey requires awareness rather than hesitation. And that is why the invitation stands before you now. I am not commanding you, my child, but I am inviting you to open what you once kept closed. Because when you open it, you will see something remarkable. You will see how every delay, every closed door, and every unexpected change was shaping a path far greater than you imagined. And when that realization settles into your heart, you will understand that nothing you experienced was wasted. Everything carried purpose, even the moments that once felt confusing. So remain here for a moment longer. Let these words settle within your spirit. Listen carefully to the quiet sense of peace beginning to form inside you. Because that peace is not accidental. It is confirmation that something new is beginning to unfold. And if your heart truly feels this shift, if something inside you recognizes that this message arrived at the exact moment you needed it, then type Amen in the comments once more, not as repetition, but as a declaration that you are ready to step forward with faith, clarity, and trust in the path that is now beginning to open before you. Because something within you is beginning to recognize a truth that has been waiting patiently for the right moment to rise into your awareness. My child, there are seasons in life when a person feels as though they are standing in the middle of unanswered questions, surrounded by silence, unsure whether the next step will bring clarity or more uncertainty. Yet what you could not see during those quiet seasons is that silence was never empty. It was preparation. While you believed nothing was moving, unseen alignments were quietly forming around you, shifting circumstances, adjusting paths, and placing certain pieces of your destiny into position. That is why I said I do not command you, my beloved. Yet I invite you to open what has been waiting before you. Because the moment you allow yourself to see clearly, the moment you allow truth to unfold instead of resisting it, the next part of your journey begins revealing itself. My beloved, there are things that your heart sensed long ago, but your mind tried to ignore. You felt subtle nudges, quiet instincts, moments when something inside you whispered that change was approaching. At times you brushed those feelings aside, because you believed they were only imagination. Yet deep within your spirit, there was a knowing that something larger was unfolding. And now that knowing is beginning to surface again, stronger than before. The path ahead is not being forced upon you. It is being revealed step by step, so that when you open it, you will understand that you were never unprepared. You were simply being guided toward the moment when your courage and your clarity would meet at the same point in time. Listen carefully, my child, because what is unfolding right now carries more meaning than you realize. Certain things that once appeared stable may begin to shift, not to harm you but to reposition you. Certain truths that once felt hidden may start becoming visible, not to confuse you but to free you. You will begin noticing that people's intentions are easier to recognize. Conversations carry deeper meaning, and situations that once felt uncertain suddenly feel illuminated. This is not coincidence. This is the beginning of exposure. The moment when what was hidden slowly rises into the light. And when that light reaches your understanding, you will realize that the invitation to open what was before you was never about pressure. It was about timing. Stay present with these words, my beloved, because what I am revealing to you is not rushed. Divine alignment moves with patience, yet when the right moment arrives, it moves with undeniable clarity. You are approaching such a moment now. Something that once felt sealed is quietly preparing to open. Something that once felt distant is beginning to draw closer. You may not yet see the full picture, but you can sense that something is changing within your atmosphere. And if your heart feels even a gentle confirmation while hearing this, type Amen as a declaration that you recognize this moment of alignment. My child, many people spend years searching for signs, asking for proof that their path carries purpose. Yet often the greatest sign is the quiet stirring within the spirit, The moment when a message arrives and something inside whispers, "This is meant for me." That whisper is not accidental. It is recognition. Your spirit recognizes truth, even before your mind fully understands it. And that is why these words are settling within you now. They are not forcing belief, they are awakening awareness. There is something ahead that requires your attention, something that will become clearer the moment you allow yourself to open what you once kept closed. There are also things you must release, my beloved. Certain doubts, certain fears, certain assumptions that formed during seasons of disappointment. Those thoughts were understandable at the time, because when the road becomes uncertain, the mind tries to protect itself by expecting less. But your destiny was never designed to remain small because of past confusion. What lies ahead requires you to recognize that your path has been guided, even through moments that seemed unstructured. When you begin seeing your journey through that lens, you will understand why the invitation to open what is before you carries such importance. My child, some of the answers you have been searching for are already very close. They are not hidden behind distant years or unreachable circumstances. They are approaching through conversations you have not yet had, through opportunities you have not yet noticed, and through realizations that will suddenly feel obvious once they appear. The door I am speaking about is not only a symbol, it represents awareness, the moment when you finally allow yourself to see what has been placed before you all along. Remain attentive to this moment, my beloved. Sometimes destiny arrives quietly, and those who rush through life fail to recognize it. But you are here now, listening, allowing these words to settle into your spirit. That presence alone is powerful. It means your heart is open enough to receive guidance. And guidance always finds its way to those who are willing to pause and listen. Soon you will begin noticing that the same situations that once caused confusion now begin revealing lessons. The same paths that once seemed blocked will begin revealing alternative routes. And the same questions that once lingered without answers will begin resolving themselves with surprising clarity. When this begins happening, remember this moment. Remember that you were invited to open what was before you not through force, but through recognition. My beloved, there are also blessings that have been delayed, not denied. Delay can feel painful when viewed through human expectation, but when seen through divine timing, it becomes protection and preparation combined. Some blessings require your spirit to mature first. Some opportunities require certain circumstances to align first. If they arrive too early, they would bring pressure instead of peace. But when they arrive at the correct moment, they bring expansion without confusion. You are moving closer to that correct moment now. The path that seemed uncertain is beginning to align in subtle ways. People will begin appearing with unexpected wisdom. Situations will unfold that reveal hidden possibilities. And even your own thoughts will start shifting toward clarity rather than doubt. These are signs that something is indeed shifting around you. If you believe this season of change is unfolding in your life, type 7 and 77 as a declaration that you trust the movement of divine timing. My child, do not rush the unfolding of what is happening. Some revelations must arrive gradually so your heart can absorb them fully. If everything appeared at once, it would overwhelm your understanding. Instead, truth is arriving layer by layer, gently revealing itself, so that when the full picture emerges, you will be ready to step into it without fear. You may soon notice something else as well. Certain people who once seemed central to your journey may begin stepping back naturally. Not through conflict, not through chaos, but through quiet distance. This is not loss, my beloved. It is alignment. When your path shifts toward its true direction, those who do not belong to that direction often drift away on their own. Their departure is not punishment, it is adjustment. It creates space for the connections that will support your next chapter. At the same time, new encouragement may begin appearing where you least expected it. Words of reassurance, unexpected kindness, or simple confirmations that remind you that you are not walking this path alone. These small moments carry deeper meaning than they appear. They are signals that your journey is being guided even when you cannot see every detail. My beloved, continue listening closely because something deeper must be understood. Opening what is before you does not only reveal opportunity, it also reveals truth. And truth has the power to bring freedom. But it can also challenge illusions that once felt comfortable. There may be realizations ahead that shift how you see certain situations. Yet those realizations will not harm you. They will liberate you from confusion. That is why this message carries both reassurance and urgency. Reassurance, because you are being guided with care. Urgency, because awareness cannot be delayed forever. When truth is ready to reveal itself, the heart must be willing to receive it. If your spirit senses that a deeper understanding is approaching in your life, a comment yes as a declaration that you are ready to receive clarity. My child, the next part of your journey will not look exactly like your past expectations. Yet it will carry something even more valuable: peace. When destiny aligns with purpose, there is a calm strength that replaces uncertainty. You will begin feeling it in small ways first, like a quiet confidence forming within you. And once that confidence takes root, you will realize that the invitation you heard earlier was not about pressure or control. It was about awakening. I did not command you to open what is before you. But now, my beloved, you understand why opening it changes everything. Stay with this message a little longer. Allow these words to settle deeper within your spirit. Because what is still unfolding has not reached its final revelation yet. Something even greater is quietly approaching the moment when it will become visible to you. And when it does, you will understand why this message found you at exactly this time. If your heart receives the truth, type Amen and remain present, because the story that is unfolding in your life is still revealing its next chapter.